No, I think you're literally the first drummer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, feel free to ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Yeah, I don't really know much about drums, so I'm going to learn a lot today. Oh, damn, touched my face. I got the corona.
Do you need a line with that? Whatever, maybe no one will even notice.
What was I going to say?
These cameras don't even faze me. I forgot it's even going.
Yeah. I last time he was recording somebody, I got so into the conversation too, and it just turned off. I was like, oh shit.
Oh. Yeah. All right, boom. Episode, yeah, that was a loud clap.
Awesome.
Episode 2, season 2. Guys, we're doing it. I have Tim from Fate to Suffer.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, brother.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming in. You know, we were talking about this a little bit, but you came in despite what's going on in the world right now. If you guys don't know, because this will probably come out late April, but we had a bad week here in Illinois with everybody being quarantined and stuff and limited to 10 people in a room, you know. So I really appreciate you coming.
No problem. We gotta live, man. We gotta, we still gotta do some stuff as long as you practice safe measures, you know. Like we were talking earlier, I think we're gonna be all right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's one of these things that I'm sure in a little while, maybe, a month from now, we're going to probably be laughing about all this. Well, maybe not laughing. Laughing's a weird word.
But looking back, we're going to be like, wow, man, we really got freaked out. And it really wasn't that big of a deal.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Maybe it is, I don't know. But I feel like they're really taking some extreme measures, man.
Well, it's very extreme, but also like we're like one of the last countries to act on any of this, you know?
Yeah.
So now we're kind of scrambling. I work for Midway Airport, so right now they're still deciding whether they're going to stop all domestic flights or not. So it's very scary.
Yeah, speaking of that, if you want to, taking a flight at this point is like $50 there and back.
Exactly.
To Florida or whatever.
I work all these flights and there's like literally like 5, 9, 13 people. Everybody's freaking out at me because they're like, you haven't. I'm like, no, I work outside. I don't come into contact with any of the customers or, all that. So it's a weird time right now. Everybody's freaking out, but hopefully if you're watching this in the future, we all lived.
We're still here.
If this is playing in the future and it's dystopian hellscape, I'm sorry. Enjoy the first season of Coffee Time. It's on a playlist.
Speaking of coffee, this is good coffee.
Oh, thank you very much. Let's do that. Today we have Papa Nicholas's Italian espresso blend. It's a dark roast, and it's pretty basic. The thing is, I have so much coffee now that I'll just stop buying it entirely because I have to get through it. So I've been drinking this, and it's very good,
Yeah, I've had that. I think I've had that brand before. Maybe not that blend, but I've had that brand.
Yeah, solid. This is a company based out of Batavia, if you guys aren't familiar. They've been around for like 100 years, so you can't argue with that, right?
No, you can't.
You can't be around for 100 years and suck,
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, we got that out of the way. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man.
I'm
good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think this is, I can't recall, has Fate to Suffer and Vicious Attack or Central Disorder ever played a show together before?
I don't think we ever have, and I think it's time to do that.
Yeah, definitely. You guys have always been in the peripheral, I've always known about you guys. I've never had the chance to actually talk to you, So, also, guys, this marks a very awesome landmark. You are the first drummer I've ever had on Coffee Time,
Awesome, man.
Just straight up.
Opening doors,
yeah. I mean, the last time something this significant has happened was when I invited Morgan and Luco in,
Aren't they
just
great?
as podcasters.
Yeah, they're awesome. I love them.
Shout out to the Metal Experience. You
Absolutely.
guys are amazing. I recently did like a jingle for them, and they've been playing it on the Metal Experience, and I'm very grateful, guys. They show a lot of support to the show.
They do. I love what they do, man. They're so committed to what they do, and they're really good at what they do.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Who knows where we'd be without them, honestly, because They're like, I don't know how many episodes deep, but they've been doing this for so long. They've kind of become like a, like a landmark in the Chicago metal scene.
Yeah.
So I had to have them on. We were talking about earlier, like when you have bad audio. That unfortunately was the only episode where I had bad audio.
Was it? Ugh.
I used my recorder and I gave them both the mics.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
2 inputs out here,
Yeah.
and they both had the microphones. So theirs was perfect. Mine, though, I tried to put my microphone to my laptop that I was running, and I screwed something up, and you couldn't hear me the whole episode.
Ugh.
So, thankfully, Morgan, took the reins, and she really, talked my way out of that one. So that was good.
Yeah.
Shout out to you guys. Boom.
Absolutely.
So, with this whole thing going on, I'm sure that all of your shows from March were canceled. Right?
Well, we had a show at the Terminus Theater
Mm-hmm.
that was canceled on the 20th. And then we had one prior to that at the 18th Street Brewery with Crusadus and a couple other bands. That was canceled too.
Dude.
I know.
That looked like such a good show.
Did you see that lineup?
Yeah,
I know.
it was
that
a
would have
really
been
good
awesome.
lineup.
That would've, and it was free too. So
Yeah.
It would have been.
Yeah,
Would've been awesome.
that was a tragedy because, I don't know the details, but
Yeah.
that happened, and then very quickly the singer who works there,
Yeah.
Crusadus, he
Yeah.
works at 18th Street Brewery,
Yeah.
he got released from the
I
company.
heard that. I saw that. Yeah.
And I don't know what the details are. I don't know if that was
sucks, man.
I don't know if that was a him thing or if that was because of what just happened in the world, but
Yeah, maybe they're just scaling back or something temporarily or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But yeah, that was a great lineup.
That was a good lineup, man. I was looking forward to that one.
We're all kind of affected right now, but
Yep.
the thing is, also another thing that's been happening is every venue has been releasing GoFundMe pages, and they've been throwing them up on Facebook to help the employees. However, they're getting blocked by Facebook. A lot of them are getting slapped
Wait.
down.
They're getting blocked.
Yeah, because it's coming up as spam.
Dude.
So a lot of these things are going up and they're getting marked as spam, and then you can't share it without getting flagged or anything. So
That's crazy.
if you're watching this, obviously, who knows how the problem was solved? I'm
Yeah.
kind of banking these a little bit, but that's the situation right now. So.
Did you say this comes out in April? April 1st?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. The first episode of season 1 is Armored Assault, who you guys saw me recording with, and then this one will probably be coming out towards the end of April.
End of April.
So
Yeah,
I don't know if you have any shows on the top of your head.
April 25th at the
Okay.
Penny Road Pub.
Okay. Sweet.
I think that's a Saturday.
hmm
And there's some pretty cool bands. I can't think of the bands off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Because we got to get this kicking in.
Oh yeah. It's okay.
early.
It's you'd be surprised. Sometimes people come in and they know all of the information right away. And then I think
Yeah.
it was Sylvester from Inner Decay. He came in and they had so much going on he couldn't remember any
Yeah.
of the details.
Yeah.
I had to give him a second to look at
I'm
his
usually
phone.
pretty good, but today I'm a little tired.
It's
I'm
all right.
good. I'm
It's
good.
all right. All right. Well, let's we've kind of touched upon this a little bit. Let's go into you, man.
Sure.
You're a drummer. When did that happen? Like what got you into drums? Is it in your family? You do have a musical background in your family?
It was my older brother who had a snare drum, and he was in the marching band, I think. And like we were talking before we started recording, like I loved the guitar and I wanted to do that first, and I actually had one, but it wasn't coming to me so fast, and I was really impatient. So I walked over to my brother's drum, his little snare drum, and I just sat down and I was just like, da, 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 da. It came to me like right then and there. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. And that was it. And then I think they signed me up for the marching band, and I did that. And then I just begged my dad for a real drum set forever. It took a long time, and I finally got one, and that was it. He was worried I was never gonna. He was worried I was gonna lose interest, just like any father would, buying a kid something expensive. Maybe he's gonna do it for 6 months and set it up in a corner and never touch it again. But no,
that was my parents.
Yep.
When I showed interest on playing guitar, it was when I was a kid essentially.
Yeah.
But they bought me an acoustic because they're like, you'll learn acoustic and then you'll move to electric, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't understand that mindset.
Yeah, it's got like the plastic strings on it.
Yeah.
You're like, this
Like,
thing sucks.
I want to be Randy Rhoads. I want to be, you know, Eddie. I don't want to be freaking, you know, I don't know. At the time, I had no reference. I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I want an acoustic?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, no, totally, I get it, man. So that's how the whole thing started, man. Just I was pushing my element. I'm like, I gotta have a drum set. And then my buddy Justin, who's in the band, we've been friends since like 12 or 13 years old, and his mom let us set up in the spare bedroom.
Okay.
And dude,
That's a good move.
it was awesome. It took us like a week, and we like settled in, and then like we just been like just jamming in sync ever since, man. Like we're like two twins, you know, like it just worked out.
It just clicks.
Just clicked, yeah.
Okay. So what are you guys listening to at this time? Is it just rock? Is it a lot of, you know?
You know, I hate to speak for the others and say the wrong stuff. You know, we
What
listen
are you
to
listening
everything. What have I been on?
No, I mean, like, what were you listening to when you first started playing?
Oh,
like,
yeah, when we first started playing, like back then,
what was an inspiration?
it was thrash leading into death metal. It was like
Okay.
the Bay Area thrash metal. So like Exodus, like Forbidden, Testament, Violence, Heathen, all those bands. And it was just like, yes, this is the best, man. We love it. And then it just turned into death, you know. And the next thing you know, we're listening to Obituary, and then Napalm Death, and then Deicide, and it was just like, dude, this is it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it just moved right into that. And I remember being like 13, 14, just loving the sound of the production. You know, the large kick drums, just massive distorted guitar. I was like, this is awesome. This is what I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I do get a lot of answers, you know, different answers, because some people are, you know, some people are way younger, some people are older, but, you know, it typically starts with like, you know, like with me, the reason I picked up, or I wanted to, was my dad would be listening to like, you know, Van Halen or, you know, the Scorpions, and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, that person just shredding, you know, is like, I always had that picture in my head of the, like, that's what I wanted to do.
That's it,
you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, it took me a while. I didn't start playing till college, you know, but I think I caught up pretty quickly.
That's cool.
So.
That's cool you said the Scorpions. My older brother Dennis, he was huge into that stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
The first Motley Crue record, you know, Scorpions, Queensryche, Queen of the Reich. He was like, listen to this stuff, I'm telling you right now. Then my other brother Paul's like, no, you want to listen to Rush.
Oh,
He's like, no. Dennis is like, no, you want to listen to this. So I was like, all right. You know,
Rush's R.I.P. You know.
Yeah.
Neil Peart.
But when I first heard Queen of the Reich, I was like, what is this? This is wicked. This is insane.
I grew up with a lot of that just because, you know, I listened to whatever my dad listened to, and it was a medley of, it would be Bob Marley, and then the Beatles, and then, you know, one second it was Motley Crue, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I get a lot of people who say their first exposure to music was like Slipknot and Korn and all that, you know.
Doesn't it freak you out? You're like, wow, man, how old are you?
Yeah. I'm like, that's, wow, yeah. Because then, you know, those are the people who end up playing like the heaviest stuff, you know, which is crazy.
Yeah. And I like Korn and Slipknot too, for sure.
Of course, yeah.
The first Korn record's awesome.
Same thing with Slipknot is some of those early Slipknot albums are great, you know. But it was weird, you know. I started off with that stuff, and then all those bands came out, Disturbed and all that. And I gotta admit, you know, I was a fan for a while of like Disturbed and all that.
Well, the melody, it's easy to like that melody, you know.
Oh yeah, you know, listening to Godsmack is easy in a way, you know.
One thing about them, dude, is I don't know if you notice, like every record that comes out of Godsmack, they get heavier and heavier and heavier.
Yeah.
That's what I've always noticed. They're not my jam. I mean, I like some other stuff, but like I noticed that they did get heavier as they kept going.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a Godsmack fan at all. I know the hits.
Yeah.
But I remember I was offered a ticket to go see them live, and I forgot who opened up for them or whatever. But Godsmack went up there, and I again have no interest in them.
Yeah.
They blew me away with their performance. Like, I was like, holy crap, this is an actual show. You guys put on a show.
Yeah. Dude, that's very similar situation happened to me. Like when we were kids, Justin again, you know, I think we were I don't even know what year it was, 1990 or 91 or something like that. We went to go see Anthrax. It was called The Clash of the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
It was Alice in Chains, Anthrax, Megadeth, and Slayer, right? I think that's what it was.
That's an amazing lineup.
And we were like, who's Alice in Chains? You
They
know?
booed him off stage.
Yeah.
They booed him off stage. We were sitting there and we're like, what? Everybody's like, well, yelling all this kind of stuff. And I remember thinking, no way, dude, these guys are awesome. So that was my first taste of Chains, and I loved them ever since. And I loved all the other bands too. I mean, that's what we were there for, clearly. But like this opening band, I'm like, who is this? And then like next year, like Dirt came out or something, and it was just like, whoa. I love them,
Oh yeah, I also feel like back then, these crazy lineups existed way more frequently than they do now.
Totally. I know. If you look at past flyers, you're like, really? That happened? Like, awesome.
Yeah. And like I'll look at flyers today and it'll be like whatever the opening band, something you've barely heard of or not at all, and then it'll be like a Lamb of God and then a Megadeth, and Megadeth will be below Lamb of God on the lineup.
Isn't that ridiculous?
I'm like, I would very much love to see it like an hour and a half, hour 45 of Megadeth. It's like it is what it is, but now we don't have any shows right now.
Nothing.
Yeah. Everyone was complaining about how they bought like tickets for all these shows. I'm like, hey, one occasion where being a procrastinator pays off. I'm a huge procrastinator. Like, I never buy tickets in a timely manner. I wait till like a couple days before, and it has screwed me.
Totally. We were gonna go see Violence at Reggie's.
Oh yeah.
That's like, dude, I love Violence. It's one of my top 5 all-time bands.
It sold out.
It was sold out and then rescheduled. I was like, damn it.
Well, did you buy tickets?
Yeah, we did. That was the only thing we did buy tickets for.
Oh, damn.
Like, usually we do what you're saying, we just kind of show up or just last-minute stuff. But
with that show specifically, they kept saying, low ticket warning, low ticket warning.
Yeah.
So,
what does Reggie's hold? I don't even know.
I don't know. It's not
200-300
much.
people?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Probably, I think a little bit more than that.
Maybe more?
Yeah.
Violence is big, though, man.
Yeah, there was a lot of shows that I was hoping to catch, And then, we're going off topic a little bit, but again, this is going to be in the future, so maybe things worked out, maybe things are infinitely worse. But I do a thing called Mike's Metal Minute, where I just plug all of the shows within like a week and a half span, And when this happened, everything that I would have promoted just, stopped existing. So I'm like, all right, well, crap. I guess I can't do that segment until April or whatever, So it just sucks because, as a musician too, you can't play any shows, you can't go any shows. We're kind of boxed in.
Totally boxed in.
But, all right. Yeah, we went off a little bit.
Cool. That's cool. I'll be going right upstairs and jamming some drums.
Oh, nice.
Later on today for sure.
So, okay. You're playing with you said your brother, right?
Oh, that's who got me started.
Okay.
In the
so your friend who you're with,
Justin.
Justin.
So Justin's in the band currently. Yeah.
Okay, so that's when Fate to Suffer essentially started.
No, we started. We got
just
kind of
jamming.
We got a funny story. Like, I took a long break. Like in the early days, I was in this band called Afterlife in the '90s.
Okay.
And that was the last thing I did. And so I took like a long break, man. I was raising family, I got my boys and I got 2 girls, and I just really wasn't doing anything musically. I was really into like hot rod cars and motocross bikes and stuff. I did that for a long time as a hobby. So music was like on the back burner, if you will. And then Justin has always through the years like, hey man, can you do this with me or do that? Let's jam. And I just never got around to doing it. But anyways, we went to a benefit show in March of 18, had to have been 18, for a bassist named Mike Flaherty. He was in Loudmouth and These Are They, a bunch of other bands. It was Justin's good buddy. Everybody knows who Mike Flaherty is. Anyways, he had cancer, so they put together this big benefit, and so that's where we got to see it, like friends we hadn't seen in years. Like I'm running into dudes I haven't seen in 20 years. And that's how it started. That's how it started. And
so it started with the 3 of you then?
With the 3, Mike had already lined up this guitar player.
Oh, okay.
Felipe, you know, our guitar player now, Skash. So we all met up at his house and jammed in his garage for a little bit, and that's how the whole thing started.
All right, so with Fate to Suffer, you know, we've established it's, you know, you started out with those 4 members.
Yep.
Now, what year was this again?
2018, April 13.
Oh Jesus! So this
Dude, we're not even that old.
this is fairly recent.
We're like a new band. We're like a bunch of old dudes, but the band's new.
Yeah. It's weird.
April
Then you
13th,
guys have been playing a lot of shows because I've seen you guys around so many times on flyers. You know?
Yeah. Justin was in Hurt Locker,
Okay.
and these are they. Skash is in Scarson.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is his band.
I know Scarson.
Yep. And our current singer Paul, he was in Afterlife and Sephiroth and some other cool bands.
I know
back then.
Sephiroth.
Yeah. Paul Richings, everybody knows Paul Richings. And then the bass player Sean, he was also in Hurt Locker. I think he was in Hurt Locker. I don't know if he was in these or that. I can't remember. But it's just a band of a bunch of ex bands, and I was in Afterlife.
Okay, now that intrigues me even more. You say 2018. You guys have a pretty decent following for only being out roughly for, would you say, a little over 2 years? You know, then?
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 19. What?
Still, that's.
I think it's only 1 year. Maybe.
Is it? Yeah. Well, that's very impressive, regardless, because you guys. You know, when I looked at your page, I think you guys had like definitely over 2,000 fans.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's 2,800 now.
Which is
moving
crazy.
right along.
It means you guys are doing something,
dude.
right? You
It's
know?
2019. I think is when we started.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Jesus
moving right
Christ.
along. I know. It's
That's even crazier.
It's fun. We're moving right along, and it's been real fun.
You know, it's like with Crusadist. They're a relatively new band.
They're awesome.
They come out with this new album, and they've been just hitting it so hard. And I looked at their page recently, and they got almost 8,000 likes on there.
And they deserve them all.
Christ.
They're awesome, man.
They're killing it. Yeah.
That album sounds killer too.
It's always cool to see, you know, a band that's like barely established essentially and just killing
Just take
it.
off,
You know?
yeah. And I hope their tour doesn't get canceled because of this.
Yeah, it's an interesting time right now. You know, I did a Coffee Time Express with them, promoting all of their tour dates. You know, and hopefully they'll actually get to do them.
I know it'd be a bummer.
You know, it would definitely be a bummer. There's some places that aren't going too nuts about the whole thing. Like I think Texas in general is not doing any of the stuff that we're doing over here.
Texas, they make their own rules.
Exactly. Florida still has. They showed some footage of a bunch of spring breakers still on the beach. I'm like, that is risky.
That's risky, and my daughter was gonna go down there, and I was like, nope.
Yeah,
not doing that. We're gonna have to wait.
Yeah, because none of those people are from Florida.
Yeah.
They're gonna take those people and go, which
that
is interesting. They're gonna
ultimately
come back.
what not to do.
Right, exactly. Especially with like how flights have been breaking down and all that. But okay, yeah, we're getting off on another tangent.
It happens.
But this is what life is right now. It
is.
It's very interesting.
It seems like all that. No matter what we talk about, it somehow or another, what's going on is going to just kind of creep right back in.
Oh yeah. So, all right, you guys have been around maybe for 2 years, maybe for 1.
I think it was 19.
Okay.
I don't know why I can't remember that.
But you guys are clearly playing a lot of shows. That EP that you guys had that was like a painting. I remember the artwork. Is that your first recorded thing?
Yeah. A friend of ours hand painted that.
If you know their name, shout them out.
His name, he works with us, and his name is Jacob Curtin. I think that's his name. Justin had that done. We all used to work together at this lighting shop in Burr Ridge. I think his name is Jacob Curtin. Yeah, Curtin. Yeah, he did that hand painting. And yeah, that's it, man. I love that thing.
Yeah, it's very nice, and it works
we've
very
updated
well.
our logo. We had Benoit from Deluxe Tattoo do the logo that kind of looks like, I don't even know how to describe it. Sort of tribal looking or something.
I'll grab it. This is a little unorthodox for me to jump off camera.
No, it's okay. This is our new logo.
This is the new logo, guys. It's very, very cool. Very pointy. The pointiness means that the band is oh crap. Things are happening, guys.
So our singer Paul and his buddy got together, came up with that current logo that we have.
Yeah.
And Paul Kerr from November's Doom, he's the one who made us those stickers and shirts.
Mm-hmm.
So huge shout out to him and his band.
Very
Those
nice.
guys are awesome.
So how long have you had that EP out then?
It came out,
Is it an EP, would you say?
I'd say it's in the demo,
Yeah.
EP, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, what really is anything anymore? Like, you know, you put a 2-song thing out, and like, is that a demo? Is that like
Yeah.
a teaser or a sampler? Like, I don't even know.
When we went in there to record it with Nick at the Nook
Yeah.
studio, we had it in our heads to like make it sound good. We weren't trying to like make it sound like wicked killer.
Right.
We just wanted to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's where the mindset of a demo came in. Plus, there's only a couple songs on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, what did EP used to stand for? Like extended preview or something like
Yeah,
that back
it's
then?
like, it's rough. It's like maybe 4, 5
Yeah.
songs, you know?
Speaking of that EP demo, whatever you want to call it, we're gonna go in there April 11th.
Okay,
and
where are you going?
Re-record with the new vocalist at the Nook.
At the Nook.
Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna put our current singer on there for sure,
nice.
and then kind of like re-release it, if you will, because
That's
this is the
pretty sweet.
direction. So the original singer Mike,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he that like formed our sound, but we wanted more like a heavier thing, you know. And
Yeah.
when Paul came in, he actually came in to fill in, so because we had some issues with Mike. And you know, we decided to carry on without him, so we needed a replacement guy for the show. So I asked Paul, so he came in to do it, and we were like, "Whoa, this is awesome!
Mm-hmm.
We sound way
The
better
missing
now.
piece.
This
Yeah.
is the missing piece."
Right.
So
Okay,
we're very
so-
fortunate to have him.
Now, you guys are actually in the time range where if you wanted to just, you know, put the new vocals onto that EP, you very well can.
Yep.
It's not dated, you know, if you
Yep.
guys have only been out for a year,
Yeah.
give or take,
Yep.
you could do that and you wouldn't have any problems.
I
No
don't
one would
think
bat an
so.
eye. you
Yeah, I
know?
don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I think we did that EP in like, I don't even know. It was just a couple months after we started.
Mhm.
Because we wanted to get something out there so we can book some shows. You know, like we got this Facebook page going and the Instagram, and it was a bunch of iPhone videos and just a bunch of low key stuff. You know, I'm like, we need like a real recording. Let's get this done.
Oh, yeah.
So we just kind of rushed in there and knocked that out.
Yeah.
So
That's
when we
pretty
go
cool.
back to finish the record this year, hopefully like August, we've been talking. That's when we're
Okay.
gonna crank it up.
So this re-recording of the vocals is separate
Yeah.
than what you
Yeah,
are doing after.
we just want to hurry up and get Paul on there. You know, he deserves that.
So you have something to
Yep.
give
In
to
the-
the people.
Yep. In the meantime, yep. And then a couple months later, we're gonna finish the entire album.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Well, you know, this is premature, but if you guys, you know, do come out with that album and you want to come back and
Absolutely.
do this or do Riff City, you know, you could play a song off that new album. You know?
For sure, man. Riff City is cool, so yeah, we'll be back for that, no doubt.
So, all right, sweet. Seems like you guys have a lot figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Then, do you know more or less like how many tracks that album is gonna have?
We're gonna have 10. We're shooting for 10.
Oh, damn! So you guys are ready to go.
We already have the song. I mean, we got all of them. You know, we got like the last two are like
more or less.
more or less. You know, it's just a matter
Okay.
of tweaking them and figuring out the arrangements. But yeah,
Very
we're
cool.
ready to go.
Well, it seems like you guys are, you know, just, you know, set and, you know,
Moving
ready to
right
go
along.
is definitely the words.
It's easy to write a song now because Justin's got riffs for
Mm-hmm.
days. You know, he's got like a catalog of riffs just sitting
Mm-hmm.
around. You know, I can just be warming up and playing something. You know, and next thing you know, he's pop, you know,
Mm-hmm.
coming up with something, and then a couple, 2, 3 of those.
Mhm.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
You're just gonna take off with it.
Now, this is going to show my own ignorance, okay? So bear with me. You are the first drummer I've ever had on the show. So, what kind of drums do you use?
I have a Pearl Prestige Session Select. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. It's a recording kit, and it sounds really good, man. And I've had it for a long time. I love
Okay.
the Pearl brand for sure. That was my
So-
first drum set, so I'm sticking with them.
Yeah.
That's not the current drum set isn't my first one, but the brand Pearl was. So I'm sticking with it. Why change?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I get that, you know.
I'd love to have a $10,000 DW, but
Mhm.
I don't see
Yeah.
that coming.
Yeah, unless you get an inheritance or something.
I got some DW pedals, so I think
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah. What kind of cymbals?
I use an arrangement of I got Meinl cymbals, some Sabians,
Okay.
and I use the DW 9000 kick pedals.
That's interesting. You don't see that a lot. A lot of drummers will pick a brand with the cymbals and just, do
No,
all
mine's
the
all
cymbals.
kinds of stuff. I got some Sabian hats. I got like a pasty, like a 14-inch crash. Then like a custom, Zildjian A custom crash.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got like a K custom splash. And then a Mino splash.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got an ice bell, a Sabian 12-inch ice bell. And then I got a Sabian chopper.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Damn, it sounds like you got a really big kit.
It's really not. It's just a standard looking drum set. I just like a lot of different variety of cymbals.
Yeah.
And then I got two Chinas. I got an old school pasty China, and then a Mino trash can China. It's got one with the holes in it.
Do you have two bass drums?
No, but I got the double kick pedal.
Double kick pedal.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm trying to.
We were talking earlier. It's easy
to.
to lug around, a condensed drum set and gear for that matter.
Yeah, my drummer has a relatively big set, but he's also in like 7 bands. So like he will sometimes bring a condensed version of his drum set out to gigs.
Yeah, and I got it's easy with the rack too. So we just.
Oh, you have a rack.
Yeah, and it's in level like 1, 2, 3. Like it's so easy to remember how to put it up. We just carry it up there, and the stands are already in there. And just a matter of just putting on the cymbals and getting it in the right spot and done.
My drummer from Central Disorder has a rack too, and he just he's in the back just getting everything ready, and then that's literally all it is just
Dude, that's the biggest reason I bought one back then. I remember because it's like all the double braced cymbal stands on the floor. It was just like back then. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this no more. You can cut that in half, and just the second half of those cymbals are on the rack. So much easier.
Okay, so again, this is going to be my ignorance talking, but obviously all cymbals of different brands have different types of sounds.
Yep.
If you're mixing your cymbals, is it really you just trying to go for specific, like, oh, I want a warmer sound here?
I go to the store, and I don't even know or care what I'm hitting. If I like the way it sounds, I'm taking it. And that's how I ended up with all these different brands. But ultimately, I love Mino. For some reason, everything they do is awesome.
Okay, well, what are the characteristics there?
They got this line, the metal line. It's like a dark. I got this 18-inch Mino crash. It's just really dark, and I feel like it just fits the style of our music, and it cuts through. It's almost like a like the brand Pasty. They got this lineup called Rude.
Okay.
A lot of guys use those. They're loud, and they bust right through. So I think that's Mino's version of those. And so I like that crash so much that I bought a little 10-inch or a 12-inch splash, and I'm like, man, everything Mino does is awesome. But basically, it comes down to what sounds good, man. You know, I don't care who makes it.
Right.
Really, I don't. I mean, that's how I ended up with all the different stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
That makes total sense. As a guitar player, everything that is involved shapes the tone. You know? Like the guitar itself, a lot of people have arguments about tone wood.
Yeah.
It does make a significant difference. What material your neck is made out of, the pickups in your guitar.
Yep.
Even people are cable purists. Like
they gotta have the monster. It's got to be a certain gauge.
Like people will spend a lot of money on cables. Just to make sure they have that kind of sound.
I'm like a gear. I love gear.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's it's an interesting thing being a musician. You're constantly trying to chase your specific tone. Like, you guys can't see it. I have an Angle over there. Angle is known for like very like MIDI kind of very like mid-centric tone. And very clear.
You can hear it now. It's like back in the day, everything was like the Mesa. What was the second Mesa had, or maybe even the first one? They called it like a
dual rack.
And they had like the onboard EQ. Remember with the big fat knobs? And it was
the Mark
5
or
Mark
something.
5. And it seemed like back in the day, and then they sound wicked, dude. But like it was like the bass was cranked. It looked like the beat. And it was killer, but you couldn't hear anything. You couldn't hear the notes, But now everything's full of mid-range, and it's like, wow, I can hear that.
There was less variety, but what was king was if you had a Mesa, like, oh, this guy's gonna sound great, That and like maybe like your JCM, was it the Marshall? The 900.
Yeah, people love those still.
Yeah, they're extremely great amps, But now with the market just so open, there's so much you can do.
Oh.
And
like these new pickups, man. These Fishman pickups, they're passive.
Modern Fluence.
Yeah, they sound awesome. And it's like, I love all that stuff, man.
Yeah, I recently set up a guitar for my guitar player that has an Evertune bridge.
You got one?
Yeah, it's in the corner. I'll show you.
I want to see it.
But it has an Evertune bridge, and I've had a guitar with an Evertune bridge, and when you first learn something that you have no idea, you are intimidated, but once you sit down with them, you're like, oh, I know exactly how this works.
Yeah.
That was my guitar player. He had, he was having some trouble with that. I'm like, I got you, bro.
Isn't the whole thing with the Evertune bridge? It's like if the neck gets a little movement, the bridge kind of goes with it.
Right. Yeah.
Is that the whole consensus?
You can literally grab the strings and shake it, and then let it go, and then it'll be in the exact same tuning.
That's awesome.
And it's a beautiful thing that people are afraid of. Very much like Floyd Rose's on guitars, with the whammy bars.
Yeah. It's the old Floyd Rose, man. It's like that or the Kaler.
It's one of those things. If you have the patience and you look at it and take the time to learn it, then you will never have problems with the Floyd Rose.
It's so funny, dude. Skash, he's all about his Floyd Rose, and it's all he's got it dialed in. He can sit there and it's right in tune. Justin's guitars, if they have a Floyd Rose on it, it's locked. The thing's not moving.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean I've thought about that a couple times because I'm like, I would love to put this in a different tuning, and just mess around with that. But it's one of those things. It's like technology is so great. I have a Line 6 Helix. I don't know how familiar you are with all those processors now. But essentially I could go through the bank and I'm like, I think I'll have a Bogner today.
That's cool.
Maybe I want a diesel.
That's awesome.
And I can go through all this and have the exact sound. No bullshit.
Yeah.
For the most part.
No, I love that stuff, man.
It's so awesome.
It is. I can talk about that for days.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love gear.
Oh, it's great. And as like I said, the whole thing that spawned this was you have your different cymbals. You go for that sound that you want. It definitely cuts through, which is great.
I literally I don't even. Sometimes I'll just purposely move my head away just to hear it. I'm like, do I like this one?
Yeah.
Because if I look at it and I know that's a Zildjian, or if I know that this one's maybe like
your opinion might.
Yeah, my opinion might change. But if I just don't even, I'm like, oh, I want that one, and it might be a mid-grade model. It could be the best model. It could be the cheapest model. I could care less. Just what I want to hear.
I always thought this was interesting with drummers too. You guys kind of have the best deals in terms of, like, I remember like Guitar Center used to offer this deal all the time where, what was it, if you break a cymbal, you could just send it back or something like that and they'd give you a new one.
I don't remember, but man, that would be cool.
Well, I thought for the longest time you could do that, if you have a broken cymbal.
Maybe if it was a specific brand or something like that.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't remember.
I know the only thing they had that with us was with guitar players is Monster Cables used to do this thing where if you had a broken cable, it was a lifetime warranty. So you could just take it back to Guitar Center. They'd give you a new one.
What makes a Monster Cable so special? Is it just thicker gauge and just better connectors?
I don't know.
Or?
There is a lot of different Monster Cables. There are the cheaper ones, which is what I buy. I don't believe in like sacred cables to make you sound amazing. I might be wrong, but the rest of my stuff sounds great. I highly doubt that cables are going to,
that angle cabinets.
Oh yeah,
wicked.
Yeah,
I want one.
This is what I use live here. My Mesa 2x12, and then this is my Angle Powerball. So. This rarely goes out anymore just because it's so goddamn heavy.
Yeah. And expensive.
It's pretty great that it's in the road case. It detracts a lot of eyes.
Speaking of road cases, I need road cases. It's like I've been just totally procrastinating. Every time we get back to the spot, I'm like, oh man, there's a new gouge or a new scratch. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Is Fate to Suffer planning on doing a lot of touring gigs or anything like that?
I don't know about touring. We definitely want to play more shows. I think we're going to take a little bit of a break until we finish this album.
Writing, yeah.
Yeah, and then once that's done, then it's all
full-fledged.
on. But I don't know if we're ever going to be able to tour. I would like to. I mean, it's contingent upon everybody's job schedule.
Oh yeah, of course. Life. There's life.
But we're definitely going to play a lot more shows once this album's booked.
Do you have any venues that you want to play specifically that you haven't?
I'd like to play at the Forge.
The Forge
sounds great there.
Yeah.
They got a good front of house guy. The PA is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I played the Forge with Central Disorder twice, and I think once with Vicious Attack. The person you contact is Nikki. That's all it is. You just stay on her, you know.
Yeah.
And if there's an opportunity that fits you, you
Yeah.
know. She is cognizant of that.
It's just being able
You
to
know?
play like the Forge is like down by us, you know, and then like the Hobart Art Theater
Oh yeah.
is like just playing like just kind of
But
spreading
you guys
out,
have
you know.
you have this venue. I forgot what it's called. It's like a donut place. The Drunken Donut. Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't.
It's a donut shop that plays shows. You could play a show there.
They pay you in donuts.
They do give you donuts, yeah. You know, they take care of you too. But I guess if you book a show there, they hand out donuts and stuff, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to think where else in Joliet. The Bada Brew's gone, right?
I don't know. Is it?
I think it's gone. Have you guys ever played Cobra or Reggie's or anything?
No, but we're working on some stuff at both of those.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, those are great venues.
They are.
We just threw the my drummer's birthday show there, and great turnout. Great show.
That's the thing. Most of these places, you know, they're like, can you have 100, 150 people at these places? And we're like, if I get some other cool bands, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I run into when I'm talking to these these places.
Luckily, most of that has phased out.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it is like you just have to do the promotion. You know, even the Forge, they'll give you tickets, but they say very clearly it's like you don't have an obligation to sell these, but it would definitely help your case in the future.
Totally would help. Yeah.
So. Oh, all right. So you guys have some venues that you want to play.
Yeah.
It seems like you guys definitely know what you're doing. You know, you have.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, it's true. You've only been out for so long. You hit the ground with this EP. You have seems like you have a following that really, like sometimes bands have like a following but very little interaction.
Yeah.
It seems like your fans interact with your page.
Yeah, it's moving right along. We couldn't be more happier. Yeah,
That's good.
It's working right up.
You guys have goals, with recording. So
yeah, I want to finish this album and see what happens, and just book a lot more shows with a lot more of these bands. Your band.
Oh, that'd be great.
For sure, we'll get that going.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. Eventually. I already said off the air, but if this picks up wind ever, I might do like a Maskey Fest or something like that.
That would
where
be cool.
Bands that I've worked with would be on the lineup, and all the same thing. Maybe the Metal Experience can be a sponsor and all that.
There you go.
We'll see. This is all premature, obviously, but even if not, we should do a little lineup at the Livewire or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But okay. So you guys have a goal. I guess you've already kind of spoke to this, but what do you see for the future of Fate to Suffer?
The immediate future would be
Recording.
Getting that recording done, and then after that, just booking shows and just trying to play different venues. We talked about the Forge. I definitely want to get that done, but I'd like to play other places too. Like our singer's from South Bend.
Okay.
I'd like to get out there and play some.
Yeah, there's
places.
some cool places.
You know what I
out there.
mean?
Yeah.
Maybe go a little further south, or maybe up into Madison or something like that. Just keep playing. Just
Madison's
try different
great.
places.
Yeah. We played a couple shows in Madison. Wisconsin is like, it's a different, I don't think they're quote unquote starved for entertainment, but I don't think they have a lot of options either, So like, I think you can get a good turnout if you do some, we did one in Kenosha that was pretty decent.
Yeah.
We did one in Madison, pretty cool shows, good people and cheap booze.
Yeah. It seems like it's a cool town now. I remember back in the day, like, it wasn't the best place. 25 years ago, 20 years ago, but now you go up there and you're like, wow, this is really cool up here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I had to move somewhere, my first choice, I would love to go to Denver, but it's so overpriced right now,
big
to
time.
live there. But Wisconsin is basically a colder Denver.
A colder Denver.
Yeah. Where it's like, there's, like, I went to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee is just a metropolis of
I think that's
food.
what I was thinking of, Milwaukee. Yeah.
Milwaukee now is like a food metropolis with just all these breweries and bars.
Like that downtown, like that little...
Yeah.
Yeah, like they had like a world market or whatever.
Yes.
It's really cool.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome, yeah.
I love it, and you don't have to deal with all the, the terrible driving, you know. like here that you get here. You don't have to deal with shitheads, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you still do everywhere you go.
For sure.
But, you know. All right, cool. Well, man, you know, it seems like you guys have a lot going on. I see that you guys are on all the streaming platforms.
Yeah. Spotify, Pandora, Deezer.
Deezer. Okay.
Whatever.
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, definitely Bandcamp, Reverb Nation, all of them. I think we're on all of them. Amazon Music, YouTube Music, all of them.
Okay, sweet. You guys have a YouTube page, obviously.
Yep.
Do you? I know you mentioned one show. Do you know off the top of your head anything else you would like to plug?
As far as the shows coming up?
Yeah, shows. Anything else? You guys are on Facebook too. You could, find them on Facebook.
Like that show coming up at Penny Road Pub on the 25th. That's gonna have some cool bands, and then we're booking another one in July with where's that one gonna be at? With Nick Cortez, the Sugar Skull.
Oh, Sugar Skull, nice venue.
I've never been there.
Okay,
so I'm kind of excited to go check that out.
That's awesome. It's a nice little.
I would say in the next week we'll have the bands finalized, and we'll definitely post it. For
Sweet.
Sure.
Well, guys, follow these guys on Facebook. Do you have anything else? Do you have an Instagram or
Facebook? Yep.
Sweet. They got it all, guys.
Reverb Nation, Bandcamp too.
Guys, Fate to Suffer. Follow them. They're going to be posting updates on their new album, and eventually that I don't know what you want to call it, remastered EP.
Remastered EP. Let's call it that.
All right. Sweet.
Awesome.
Guys, we did it.
Thanks for having me.
Episode 2. Boom. Thank you very much.
Awesome, brother.
Oh, elbow.
Elbow.
Right, sweet. We did it. What would that come out to?
This was 13.
13? Okay, sweet.
Got enough time?
Yeah. We got.
If you want to cut out all that jibber jabbing I was doing to you about the being on a tour bus with death and all that, you can kill all that. I didn't know that was on.
That guy's recording.